Hey, what's going on, guys? Hope everyone's been enjoying Brown Dust 2. We've got some developer notes for the month of May, and unfortunately, I will say this right at the beginning, they still are not allowed to announce their collaboration IP, even though the collaboration is for May 25th. They're contractually obligated to not say anything just yet. So, unfortunately, we won't be able to get anything. So that sucks. But let's go over what's they're offering in the new update here for May. And I will say it's a lot of improvements in quality of life, which I always respect and Brown does too. Okay, so let's talk about it. So we've got Story Pack 13, Song of Snow. I'm not going to read much on the story summary because some of you do pay attention to story, so I'll leave it at that. But just know that Song of Snow is coming up in the next patch, which should be around next week. We have new character Loen, which is the magic fire user that I've talked about in the past, and also they've talked about on their 300-day celebration. She is the girl from last night. That girl with the body dress and the little skull character, that is her, Loen. She is a very high ranking mage, so we'll get a little background on her. Loen first appeared in the main story of Last Night content as a high-ranking summoner who wields dimensional power. There were many people who wanted Loen as a playable character, so development decided to release Loen as a fire attribute character. Loen, the last survivor and protector of a world that was destroyed while fighting against the Seekers of the Apocalypse, will be updated as a new character. So she's pretty powerful lore-wise. Now, let's get into what else they'll be doing. So they're going to be doing a rerun of the Idol Phantasm event. So for those of you that remember, this is with like B. Helena, this is with B Idol, Elenir, Sari, Ventana, and Yuri as well. So they're going to be rerunning this banner. And the two banners they're going to be rerunning is going to be a rerun of B rank Idol Elenir. And I think after B rank Idol Elenir, there might be a Helena rerun too as well. So keep that in mind. That's what I'm guessing. But we will get Last Hope Loen after the May 8th maintenance. So next week we will get her. So pretty exciting stuff. Completely new character. Let's see. And then we also have their weapon banners as well. Now, also they did mention, and I'm trying to find it. Let me see here. I'm trying to find it here, but I can't seem to find it. They are going to be updating Top Idol Helena's animation. And they'll also be working on others after that, obviously. But Helena has two costumes, her B rank idol and her top idol. So she will be getting an animation update very soon, probably next month. Okay, let's get into improvements. Companion UI improvement. So replacing companion UI improvement. And companion is the button where you press... it's right here. So it's basically this button. So they're improving it. They're giving you certain options to decipher between different elements. I'll quickly read some of the stuff. So attribute, physical, magic type filters have been added to the top, making it easier to find companions of desired types. The automatic battle formation placement feature has been added. If you press auto placement, the button at the bottom right, formation will be automatically formed in order of combat power. So nice little UI improvement. I like it a lot, personally. Gear management. This is going to be great. So this is pretty cool. Improvements will be made so that you can check and replace the gear of your companions included in the current battle formation at glance. So they'll have it to where that's companion, and then here is gear management. So for your team, you can look at gear of all of your team members. Not only that, a bulk release function for gear will be added. By pressing the batch release button at the bottom right, you can release the gear of all companions included in the battle formation at once. So there's a button where essentially you press it, you can get rid of the gear, and then you can add the gear yourself. It's also possible to collectively remove the gear of only one specific companion from the companion UI by clicking on the companion's portrait. In the gear management tab, you can enter the companion's UI information. Okay, formation management. So this is also a part of the companion tab. So you could change battle formation in companion UI even without entering battle. So you can basically have presets. Improvements will be made so that changes can be applied directly to presets. You can manage formation presets by pressing the preset button at the bottom right. You can load save presets and edit them right away or copy existing presets. The abilities set icon for each preset will be added to make it easier to identify the preset that suits the situation. Gear bulk enhancement. This one's pretty cool. So previously, in order to obtain refining powder efficiency, gear had to be strengthened individually and then dismantled. A bulk reinforcement function has been added that allows you to select equipment and strengthen it all at once. You could directly select gear to strengthen or select gear with specific conditions in bulk through filters. You can enhance up to 50 pieces of gear at once. Holy. So if you're trying to sell out of your gear, level up that gear and then you could refine it and dismantle it, or dismantle it to get refining powder. Or it seems like you can upgrade gear at the same time. So if you've got a bunch of UR 3 or 4 gear and you want to upgrade it all at the same time, you can do that. Gear UI improvements. Some improvements are being made to the gear UI to help manage your gear more efficiently. Looks like they're changing icons related to device information that have been added to gear thumbnail, allowing you to check important info without having to click on each gear individually. So that'll be cool. So instead of clicking on gear to look at info, you can just tap it. Basically going into another screen. You can just tap it instead of going into the gear screen. Icons are added as follows: normal to legendary and exclusive grade indicated, gear basic options, and additional options indicated. Okay, so that's pretty cool. And then a bunch of other stuff for gear UI. A shortcut button is added to move directly from the gear creation UI to gear inventory UI. Okay. Gear that can be produced in gear creation UI is sorted by grade. The logic of auto equipment function will be improved. Previously, automatic equipment was performed only on empty gear slots. After improvement, stronger gear will replace the current equipped gear and all slots that are already equipped with gear. Okay. Interesting. A feature that allows you to view... Oh, this is cool. A feature that allows you to view popular gear for each companion's equipment part will be added. So this is great for free-to-play and new players. You could check high-ranking player and how they set their gear. Awesome. Automatic skill function improvement. So this one was pretty interesting. Many people have commented that it is inconvenient to use the auto skill and auto battle function because the last costume is saved at the end of battle. The costume set when entering battle has been improved so that it does not change regardless of outcome of the battle. Therefore, when using the auto skill and auto battle functions, you will no longer need to set up the costume you want to use every time. We will be more careful in the future to ensure that new features are not added in a way that is inconvenience to users. Season Pass improvements. So this is pretty cool. So essentially they're getting rid of the Gear Pass and they are going to be putting Gear Pass rewards and including them in Season Pass rewards. And they said if you complete the new Season Pass mission, disassemble gear one time, you could obtain a pass material box. When you open the pass material box, you could obtain slightly higher rewards than the existing Gear Pass. Now, I don't know if that's the only thing you need to do to get all the rewards for the Gear Pass that they used to have. I don't know. If that's the only thing, then that just makes things way easier to collect in this game. That's a huge quality of life. Because in the Gear Pass, you got to do a bunch of things similar to all the other mission passes to get all the gear. But if all you have to do is do disassemble gear only once, or disassemble gear one time, then that's pretty crazy. And then we've got the Newbie Pass edition. So the mission and rewards of the Newbie Pass will be expanded so that players who are new to the game can get used to it more quickly. Steps 2, 3, and 4 are now added to the Newbie Pass, which previously only had one step. Each time you clear mission of each step, you can receive various rewards such as a new costume, draw ticket, and guaranteed tickets for the UR exclusive gear. So great for the newbies. Mission improvements, this isn't that big of a deal. I mean, I don't think people really care about daily mission improvements, because as long as dailies are the same, it only takes like less than 2 minutes. But I'll read this sentence here. The overlap between each mission will be removed, and improvements will be made to make it easier to perform while maintaining existing rewards. Additionally, while performing the number of daily accomplishment missions, previously you had to complete other missions and receive rewards so that missions will be counted. So there's an inconvenience of having to press the Get All Daily Missions button twice to receive the rewards. To solve this problem, daily achievement count missions can be cleared by just performing other missions. We have improved it so that you can receive all mission rewards with just one click of the Get All button. Cool. Field quests. So for field quests, they are going to be adding a what do you call it? What's it called? What's the button? The development team was worried. Blah blah blah. A quick quick completion feature. So basically a quick battle feature for field quests, which I am glad they're doing, because every day it does get boring after you do it like more than 3 times. So a quick completion button is perfectly fine with me. Cutscene update. Oh, here it is. Yeah, so Helena's basic costume top item will be updated. Okay. So the last part here, they talk about why they changed the values for Rafitia. So this is pretty interesting. So I'll basically summarize this for you guys. You can read it for yourself. But so the reason why they didn't want to go with the numbers of Rafitia, I think it was like well over, I think if you got her to +5, it was like 190% crit or something like that. Right? And the problem was they thought it would have been bad for the current meta that we have in Brown Dust 2. They did mention that if she came out like this in the beginning, it actually wouldn't have been that bad. But the investment that players have had with crit damage in this game is why they kind of held off on it. Because right now, currently, even for like PvE and PvP, crit rate buffers and then building crit damage on your damage units is like the thing to do now. It's more important than attack damage. It's more important than I mean building defense. For damage units, it's more important than crit rate on a damage unit. Crit damage is everything, and then you use crit buffers to help activate that damage essentially, right? So they felt that reducing the critical damage was a thing that they had to do, right? So they said, we conducted a reevaluation by adjusting critical damage reduction, damage taken reduction, SP consumption, etc. among the intended values to align with the value of the 5-star costume. Now, they did mention, now this is interesting, separate from Rafitia's skill balance this time, there was also discussions within combat balance team about lifting the limits on attack, magic attack, and crit damage. That's pretty interesting. But they said they were going to not rush things and take their time. So apparently crit damage is maxed out at 700%. I don't know about magic or attack damage. I don't know the numbers for that. But that would be crazy. I don't know. And I think this has to include defense too, probably. I'm guessing. I don't know what that would bring to the meta, but I'm glad they kind of held off on that decision, because I don't know where that would go. Because imagine like a very high crit Leatrice. Like, that would be insane, guys. I don't know. It's definitely an interesting discussion. But then again, I don't know any units that are capped out at 700. I haven't seen it yet because it's so hard to do. But yeah, anyway, they just said, yeah, they apologize for changing it even after Q&A for the character. And they're also looking into, like I said, taking off the cap for attack and crit damage. I don't think they will, but we'll see. And, they just said, appreciate everybody. This is the last thing that they mentioned. So, since the announcement, many users have sincerely expressed their concerns and have provided support and encouragement. Reading each and every word from the users made it feel as if we were not just developers and users, but rather colleagues working together to create Brown Dust 2. I hope we can continue to work together in the same direction and create Brown Dust 2 together in the future. So, that was the May 19th update. Pretty interesting stuff. Overall, pretty cool improvement, guys. I hope my reading didn't bore you, but just know that there's overall gear improvements and the UI for the character selection screen has been improved, right? And we're getting obviously the rerun of the idols, as well as the new character low end. So yeah, guys, let me know if you got any questions. I am out. Later.